Okay. Good. So it's back live. For some reason, I'm having a huge amount of trouble with the signal, and there's a lot of protests going on outside and a lot of stuff happening outside. So I'm just going to, if I need to, I'm just going to keep coming in and continuing the broadcast. Okay. Let's see. So I want you to think about all the different potential smells that there are. So there's the smell of, I think, okay. Not quite sure what's going on. So if you can see me, if you've come back on to the post that says continuing, that would be really great. If you could say if you can see me, because this, I'm having significant trouble here. Okay, I'm going to keep on going. Yeah, for some reason, the protests or something going on outside, I think people are using a lot of power at the moment, watching what's going on today, and I keep cutting in and out. So we'll just keep going. I think you heard through the scent of dogs that dogs have 44 times more scent smell cells than humans. And each person has their own individual smell that distinguishes us. For example, I could have found my husband with my eyes closed in a crowded room by smell specifically. And I think that that's true. Okay, cool. Cool. So smells smell different on different people. So colognes try to be as universal as they can so that they can appeal to as many people, men or women, as they can. Smell sparks memory. Smell sparks memory very, very powerfully. So I want you to think about some memories. For example, think about the smell of cut grass. So the grass is cut and we're walking through a field, maybe grass like what's behind me, oops, on the other side, grass like what's behind me here. And the grass has been cut and it's got that smell, that green, sweet smell that's so delicious. And it feels good, and it lets us know that sort of spring is here, winter's over, coming back. So say yes if you've ever experienced that smell of cut grass, walking through or walking past a place where grass was cut. Or not delicious. It's true. Think about the smell and the memory that it evokes. So what I want you to see is how closely smell and memory are connected. Yes, exactly. Think about the smell of a crackling fire in the fireplace. Yep. So you can smell the crackling of the wood. You can actually smell, depending on what wood is being used, what that wood smells like. And there's probably some memory connected with it, or cutting grass yourself, exactly. So the memories of sitting in front of a fire with the fire crackling, and maybe telling stories, or maybe if you were a child being read to in front of a fire. So that smell of wood burning, that crackling, that has a scent memory that's very evocative, that takes us back to certain experiences. And these two scents are pretty pleasurable scents for most people. The smell, the kind of dusky smell of autumn leaves. So when you All the leaves are coming off the trees, and if you live in the country, it's a never-ending task to rake them up. And if you are a family with kids, very often the kids ask that the leaves be raked up and put in a pile so they can be jumped in. And so there's that smell of jumping in a pile of leaves, and that dusky smell, and how it is if some of the leaves are still a little bit green, or if most of them are dry, that smell. Have any of you ever done that? Jumped in a pile of leaves that were raked together? Maybe when you were a kid. It's not usually something adults do. There are, so I'm going to go over some other smells as well, because I want you to be thinking about what your 3 smells that you're going to do for homework are. So cut grass, crackling fire, autumn leaves, hot chocolate on a cold day, hot chocolate on a winter day. So maybe you've come in from the snow, from making a snowman, or from skiing. So there's that memory. And there's the smell of hot chocolate when you cook it. And you can smell what that smells like distinctly. And then if you add marshmallows, the marshmallows have another smell that gets layered onto it. But if you think back into your memory, I bet that you have some memories of this. I bet you have some memories of this. Perfume or cologne. At different times in our life, we sometimes use different types of smells. We associate different types of smells with who we are. So there are some smells which resonate when we're younger, and others that resonate when we're older. So very often, if we do use perfume or cologne or something, those choices will change over time, because there are scents which resonate with us in different moments. Essential oils. So one of the things I do is I use a diffuser, and I use essential oils to shift mood. So scent is a really, really good thing to shift mood, which is why this is one of the prompts that I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. So when I want to be calm, I'll use lavender. If I want to do something else, I'll use a different scent. So there are various scents that I will deliberately use if I need to shift into a different mood. There are different kinds of teas that I will have if I need something different to happen. So for example, if I want to do herbal tea, passion fruit is rose hips, and it's a very robust kind of a fruity smell. And I'm going to do a little tea tasting a little bit later. Chamomile. When you think of chamomile, what do you think of? What kind of mood does chamomile? Yeah. Hi. What kind of mood does chamomile typically, do we choose that tea for? For me, it's peace. It's calm. So when I choose that as a tea, it's to get calm. It's something that I might choose before going to sleep, right? And it sort of stills me down. So we deliberately use scents to shift our mood, to change how we feel. Chai tea. So chai has caffeine in it. So if I don't want coffee, I want tea, I might do chai tea, because I like the kind of, I tend to like sort of fruity type flavors and a little robust stuff, and chai feels that way to me. Ginger. So ginger, if I have a stomach ache, I might do some ginger tea. Yeah, relaxation and meditation. So unwittingly, and there are some we are aware of and some we aren't, but if we're aware of what scents can help bring us into, we can shift our mood by choosing the scents or by noticing the scents around us. Flowers, we can choose flowers by scent. There are flowers which don't have scent, and then there are flowers which do have scent. People either like or don't like strong scents in their flowers. So there are some people who choose flowers with no scent but with brilliant colors. or relaxing colors. So these are all choices that we can make to shift mood. Coconut oil. So coconut oil is, I love coconut oil as itself, and I love coconut water. I hate coconut lotion when sunbathing. I don't actually like sunbathing that much myself, but there are people who love, yeah. There are people who love coconut oil on their skin. I can't stand it. It feels awful to me. So for me, something that's a very pleasurable experience, a very pleasurable scent for a lot of people, and probably because it's evocative of something nice, is awful for me. So it's a very individual thing. Shampoo, what scents are you putting on your hair? What scents are you putting on your skin? What are those scents conveying? Are they conveying comfort? Are they waking you up? So if I wanted a kind of a wake up scent, I might do tea tree oil or something. Different soaps, so rose soap. I have a very strong evocative memory. Dave, my husband, he painted a lot in oils. So this behind me is one of his paintings, and it's an oil painting. And to keep the paint wet, what he would do is he had clove oil, and he would mix the clove oil into the oil paint. So for me, the smell of clove oil and oil paint is just, oh my gosh, it's such a good scent. And it might be really unpleasant for somebody else, but I just think it's almost the best scent in the world. Really almost the best scent in the world. So knowing what really makes you happy, what are the scents that make you happy? What are the scents that calm you down? What are the scents that stir you up and get you into action? You can really proactively use these to shift your mood and get more resourceful, to really, really, really either get into action or get grounded or get peaceful, whatever you desire to do. So what I want you to do is I want you to just settle into a chair, settle into your own body. Take 3 deep breaths. And I'm going to show you a bunch of different possible scents. And as I show you these different scents, I want you to think about what scents you might want to smell for your assignment, which, needless to say, is 3 scents. So this is a scent called cinnamon leaf. It's very sharp. And when you do the practice yourself, I want you really to just breathe in with your nose like that and let it come in. And then breathe out. And I want you to be noticing what is the aftermath. So we've been doing a lot with the aftermath of things, the aftermath of sound, the aftermath of taste. So this is the aftermath of smell, because there's the smell and there's the sort of lingering of the smell, and there's the memory that may or may not be associated with the smell. So that is cinnamon leaf. And cinnamon, as you'll remember, is one of the more pleasant smells. So this is Vicks Vapor Rub. Whew. It's got camphor in it. We typically think of Vicks Vapor Rub when we have a sore throat. So we'll put it on our glands and it will clear out our sinuses. So it's a very sharp, very aggressive sort of smell. Not necessarily that pleasant. It sort of brings us back to being sick, because usually we're using this when we're sick. I have 2 different soaps. I have a rose soap. I'm not going to open them. and I have a violet and cocoa soap. Honestly, they smell to me more like soap than just soap, than the scents that they are. And if they were open and wet, they might smell a little bit stronger. So these are cloves. Think about cloves and what you may have done when you were a kid. Yeah, exactly. Being sick as a child is not fun. So cloves, mostly I think of cloves at during the holidays when you would take a really big orange and you would stick cloves all over it. It's really good for keeping clothes smelling good. So as you can see, cloves evoke all these memories of doing something crafty, of having clothes smell really good. Clove oil, as I said, I just love. So cloves I tend to really love. It's astonishing how many smells there are around us. So this is a deodorant that's cedarwood and juniper. So cedarwood is very strong and juniper is a plant. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's a bit of a bland smell, and I tend to like strong and powerful and somewhat pungent smells. So, you know, it's not one that I use very much. So this is bay leaves. This is dried bay leaves, and dried bay leaves, they don't have much smell when they're dry, but bay leaves as a rule, they bring back for me memories of being in Maine and of brushing by bay leaf bushes. Because if you break a bay leaf that's a live bay leaf, it has a wonderful, wonderful smell. So I don't know if any of you have memories of bay leaves. Yeah, with cloved oranges. But bay leaf bushes are lovely. Going by a lilac bush is lovely. Going by wild roses is lovely. So these are all evocative scents that will typically kick up remembering places, particular places. This is tea. Well, it's not tea. It's hot chocolate. This is great hot chocolate. I talked about things that sort of wake you up and spark you up. Tea tree oil is one of those. It's kind of astringent. It's very sharp. Not so much fun. Yeah, it's a jolting experience. Again, this is typically used to do things like clean wounds, stuff like that. Sometimes we think of this either as kind of a wake up, but also as something that we associate with healing ourselves. This is the lavender I talked about. This is frankincense and myrrh. So the scents and the things that they brought, the three kings brought to Jesus, apparently. Yeah. It's, the two together are kind of a very dense and very heavy scent, and I don't really love dense, heavy scents, so not a big fan. Not a big fan. This is coconut oil. It's not as strong as the lotion that you put on for sunbathing, so I don't mind it. And it's kind of, in this form, it's kind of waxy, so it doesn't have that strong a smell. It's kind of more oily than it is coconutty, so I can tolerate it. And then the scent that you put on your hair when you wash your hair, you may not be thinking about that. What I'm saying is that you can use these scents to, when you get mindful of them, to actually change your experience and change your mood. So you can use them strategically as you go along to make things more powerful, more, you know, fabulous. Okay. So I have lemon ginger. So the ginger is pretty sharp. Ginger is great for making your stomach feel good. So typically if you have digestion challenges, you might have ginger. This is the chai. This is the passion. Oh, I didn't mention mint. So mint is something, it's kind of a pick-me-up. It's not caffeinated, so you might have a mint tea in the late afternoon if you didn't want to have coffee because you didn't want to be woken up like that, but you needed something that would pick you up a little bit. You might do that. Okay. If you're liking the challenge, just there's one more day, keep inviting people. That would be fabulous. The assignment for tomorrow is choose, as always, choose 3 things to smell between now and noon tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. 1 pleasing smell, 1 smell that is unpleasant or that jars you, like the frankincense and myrrh. I don't love it. You know, there were some of the other scents that I smelled that I just don't love them. They're not wonderful to me. And 1 of your choosing, any kind of smell. I would invite you to think about what are the scents in nature, if you have a chance to get out in nature. What are the scents in your home? What are the scents of the things that you put on your body or around your body? What are the scents that you diffuse into where you live? How are you conscious and unconscious of the smells around you? And really, you know, allow those, as you do this practice, allow whatever memories are connected with those scents to rise up as well. So it's a really extremely profound mindfulness practice because scent is such a visceral thing. I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. What did you notice as you slowed down and you smelled each of your choices? So remember, you're going to take whatever you're smelling, and you're going to breathe in as deeply as you can and take it into your nostrils. And then you're going to breathe out and you're going to just notice the whole thread of the scent for you and any memory, if there is one, connected with that scent. It might be something that you cook. It might be something you drink. Whatever it is, I want you just to notice it. And did any of the scents evoke memories for you? And what were those memories? Were they positive? Were they negative? What happened? As I've said before, there's going to be a homework thread for today as well, and a prize for participating each day before the next Facebook Live, the last Facebook Live, which is tomorrow. There's going to be a grand prize. So if there's anyone who's watching the replays, but they haven't been able to be on each day, I know people work at this time. So if you haven't had a chance to be on each day, but you want to be in the running for the grand prize, I invite you to go back, watch all the videos. Each one is 30 minutes. This one's a little longer because I got jumped off. And answer the thread. So if you answer the thread, anyone who answers the thread will be in the grand prize drawing. Friday's practice is going to be touch. So I invite you to join me on Friday at noon. I am Allison Penna, Bad Widow and creator of the Affluence Code System. Thank you. Bye.